Some minds are wired to instantly recognize a very specific equation. Your happiness, success, and general normalcy can be measured by the size of your social circle. If you spend your weekends alone, the world is quick to assign a label. People assume you are antisocial. They assume you are failing to connect. The default diagnosis is always that you are, in some way, broken. But talk to people who actually live this way, and you rarely hear stories of a lack of social capability. Instead, they describe a profound exhaustion from external noise. Is it possible the psychological community understands this isolation as something entirely different? This isolation often points to the presence of a highly selective cognitive operating system, one that acts as a deliberate gatekeeper for the mind. This multi-tiered funnel graphic represents the psychological filter, the exact mechanism the analytical mind uses to process the modern social world. Far from an accidental barrier, it operates as a rigid, active checkpoint, protecting a person's mental baseline. Every incoming social interaction has to survive tests of authenticity, energy cost, and intent verification. Almost all of them are eliminated before reaching the bottom. The loner status is simply the mathematical reality of running a filter that prioritizes absolute mental peace over social quantity. The first active layer of that filter is the authenticity screen. It operates with a strict zero-tolerance policy for incongruence. To instantly recognize individuals who project one friendly persona to their face and completely different behavior behind their back. An absolute refusal to participate in this common social facade immediately wipes out the vast majority of casual networking opportunities. For the rare interactions that do pass the first screen, we look at this battery gauge representing cognitive load. The analytical subject doesn't passively listen. They process every word, dissect tone, and track microexpressions. This active processing burns massive amounts of mental energy. Once that energy is depleted, the only way to recover is through deep, uninterrupted solitude. You combine a total intolerance for fake behavior with the massive energy drain of active listening, and maintaining casual friendships becomes impossibly expensive. Any potential connection that survives to this point hits the final, most restrictive layer, the verification protocol. An analytical person views trust as a significant vulnerability. It is a high-level credential that is never handed out blindly. Instead, they observe silently. They test boundaries and wait patiently before deciding if someone is actually safe to elevate to the status of a friend. Running a social filter this unforgiving would isolate and crush the average person. So, how do these individuals maintain it without succumbing to loneliness? The entire system is anchored by a self-sustaining, independent mind. They have the built-in capacity to entertain themselves, think critically, and make autonomous decisions. They do not require a crowd for validation. The strict filter doesn't cause despair because their baseline state is complete self-reliance. They operate perfectly well without needing people to function. When you zoom out and look at the final mathematical outcome of this entire filtering process, the picture shifts entirely. This carefully limited social circle acts as an impenetrable, highly secure vault, operating exactly as its brilliant architect intended. Having a small group of friends, or no friends at all, is not an indicator of weakness, and it certainly isn't a failure to adapt to society. It simply means your standards for human connection are uncompromisingly high. By filtering the chaotic outside world so aggressively, you have successfully prioritized the absolute protection of your own inner peace.